Neil deGrasse Tyson's just put the last piece of the puzzle together, and it involves wormholes. It's about to get very interesting. Here's a recap and a speed run for beginners. Woo-woo community's favorite dude, Nicky T, says that everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. This is more or less correct for the most part. It's confirmed by Max Planck, Niels Bohr, and a bunch of other people. Energy moves in tiny little pockets called quanta. Himmies quanta are traveling in waves. And obviously this makes sense because the Big Bang was an explosion. An explosion is light and sound travels in waves. And this explosion is this light spectrum and this sound spectrum, based off of the advancement of human technological capacity. There may be more, we just might not have discovered them yet. Now here's where it gets interesting, because there's the metaphysical concept of the fact that the universe is also conscious, so it's light, sound, and conscious. We are part of that universal consciousness. This has been discussed by psychologists such as Carl Jung, Adler, Sigmund Freud. They were like the pioneers of what we have today to understand how our brain works and interacts with the experiences around us. And these experiences you have, like, they have their own colors and shit. This is where they're talking about your blocked ass chakras. You fucking nerds. Now, psychology focuses more on how our mind is affected by our desires and how our experiences affect our mind. Whereas metaphysics is more how we interact with it and how it interacts with us. And this is why they think it's conscious. Now, here's where it gets more interesting. Make sure you've saved this for later and share this with a friend if you're learning something new. Click that follow button as well. Anyway, moving on from that. So you've basically got this idea that the universe is conscious and is also light and sound. So if the light and sound is conscious, it's wanting to find more stuff like it, right? So basically this organizes the universe. So this is where like experiences are red, anger, rage, lust, and then you've got experiences that are pure and clean and true, etc. You get me? So they're organizing themselves, right? And this creates the density in which we interact with the universe. I thought you were gonna talk about wormholes and shit, bro. I am. Just be patient, please. Okay, so onto the wormholes. Can I stick my worm in your hole? Intrusive thoughts for the win. But seriously, onto the wormholes. So we've got to go ancient first. Now we're looking at some type of cosmology that talks about multiple dimensions, because wormholes access multiple dimensions. If you're not on board yet, like, fucking get your shit together. Okay, so you've got this idea of wormholes connected to multiple dimensions, and how does it work? I will tell you. So you have your torus field, right? The torus field is operating in your body, and when you go to interact with the world outside, it's creating wormholes to these multiple dimensions. You kind of lost me a little bit there. Okay, so this diagram is going to be explained really easily, okay? So Hindu cosmology states that there's 14 dimensions, okay? Now there is an earth dimension that we are currently on. However, through consciousness, you go up and down. So this is also a Taoist belief that heaven and hell are states of mind. So it's a state of awareness, okay? So Earth is here in the middle section, and there's 7 upper realms, 7 lower realms, in total 14 dimensions. This is you, that's your torus field. The Earth also has a massive torus field. And this is where the wormholes come into play, right? 99% of everything we interact with is not there. It's like not space, okay? So, but every time you go into interact with it, it collapses on itself to create the pressure electromagnetically. That's how we have pressure, and we sit on things and we touch things. It's all electromagnetic, okay? It's just pressure based through that. So it's not really there. And then when you, based off of your thought, create a thought, have a feeling, and then create an action, depending on the thought that comes from your mind and the feeling that goes into your body, and the intention behind what you're trying to do will land you in one of these places. So each one of these 14 dimensions is a wormhole to a reality in which creation is operating. But these 14 realms are existing across all of space-time in infinite opportunities. So essentially, everything is happening, and all you have to do is think it so with the right intention, and then you will be able to get there. But you gotta remember, it's not just about thinking it. Mind, body, and soul. Your mind, body, and soul have to be satiated. So essentially, you have to think it in the mind, the soul has to have the correct intention, and the body has to have the action towards it. Because how do you get through it? You have to travel through a wormhole. You've got to go through it. Like I said, this is just a theory that's being explored. I didn't say that, but this is a theory that's being explored. Let me know in the comments, share this with a friend. If you've got any questions, I'd love to be able to, help you out with it. Anyway, thanks very much for your time. Peace.